So tell me what's going on here today.
All right. Well, today they're doing they're having a Grateful Day fair, a Grateful Dead themed fair here in Berkeley, off the Ashby BART station, and I was invited to perform. So I'm doing it super low tech, one man, but it gets the job done. So, yeah.
And you're one of the few hip hop artists who can cross over into Grateful Dead territory.
And and that's why I had to hop on it. That's why I had to make sure I could put my foot into that. We have to try to claim my space, what I'm good at, and what I can do, and where I think I should rep.
So what will make your performance today at this Grateful Dead Day festival in Berkeley, California, unique from your usual shows that you do, or different?
Well, so for this performance today, I do have it in mind that I'm outdoors, and that it's more family friendly. So it kind of puts me to pick certain songs that I can, that at least I feel comfortable. Not to say that they're all squeaky clean songs, but songs that are a little bit more, I think, tangible for broader audiences. And kind of in a way, it kind of forces me to pick probably what are my most best songs and my most identifiable songs, to just do all of those in a row. And I haven't done a lot of sets where I just do all my just all bangers after one of the other. I usually like to do different material, keep it kind of trippy. But
So as an example, what were two of the songs you're going to play today?
well, today I'll be playing Strange Days for one, and then I'll also be playing Swimming in the Bay, which are two very Bay songs of mine. I couldn't have I wouldn't have been able to write those songs hadn't it not been based on my experience being a Bay Area artist, and but it's for the community, and they both kind of speak to different parts of the community. Strange Days is about the MC's struggle in the Bay, and Swimming in the Bay is for everybody, so.
And coincidentally, I'm wearing my Swimming in the Bay t-shirt that you designed.
Yeah.
And I see you also have your tie-dye hat. Did you design that?
I didn't do this. I didn't get this, but
That's your Grateful Dead.
I got this over at the Berkeley hat store. So I'm like Berkeley Telegraph. That's my second home.
It is, isn't it?
So.
And just this morning, coincidentally, the book I'm reading at the moment is Bring the Noise. And one of the chapters I was reading was about De La Soul, and I was reminded of how when they came out, that they were kind of the hippies of hip-hop in the beginning, but then they killed that off with De La Soul is Dead. But they sort of paved the way for sort of like what you're doing today, right?
I love De La Soul, and I definitely like those three actually the first four albums, but particularly that second album too, the De La Soul is Dead. I really looked to that, but I understand where they were coming from too. They didn't want to be pigeonholed as hippies, but also I think that over the decades that the term hippie has gotten a bad rap. And it's funny when it's convenient that people want to be seen as a hippie or treated like a hippie, and then when they want to clown it. So I don't care, I let my freak flag fly. If you guys want to call me a hippie, it's all good with me. It doesn't change. It doesn't make me any less funky, or I'm all the way funky with it. So,
I don't think of it as a negative.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I mean, I've heard different rappers, or they try to be too street with it, and then they want to that hippie shit or whatever, and it's whatever, dude, yeah.
Well, getting back to you and your music, what do you have coming up? Because you're always working on a new release or a collaborative release.
Yeah, well, so collaboratively, I have a very special remix coming out with this artist named with the Kristen Cardias Menos Project, and they're a psychedelic band based in the peninsula and in the Bay Area. It's headed by Kristen Cardias Menos, a super talented guitarist and musician, And but she's also a hip hop head, even though she makes psychedelic rock and funk music. Like she knows her hip hop. So we collaborated and remixed one of her songs. So you guys stay tuned for that. I've been this year I'm writing and recording a lot of new material, writing and recording a new album. But I've been getting more into my visual art as well. So I've been kind of like in a new creative space where I'm churning out new art pieces and new art ideas and kind of creating my art separately from the music, where before a lot of the art I was making had to directly do with like my music, and that's been really exciting too.
Well, speaking of your art, I was wondering if you could sort of show me some of your art, because you truly are a multi-talented artist.
Thank you.
Visual as well. So.
Well, here's one.
And you have some for sale today too.
Yeah, here's one of my recent pieces.
Now, are these original, or you do a print and then you kind of make copies of it?
These are prints.
Prints.
Yeah,
okay.
These are the prints. So this is one of my recent pieces I made this year. I can't remember what I called it, but you know, it kind of speaks for itself. You know, I've been kind of like getting into some nostalgia for myself, remembering impactful scenes and moments from the 90s, being a kid, and just kind of reinterpreting those moments. Mm-hmm. And you know, I wanted to tribute the Terminator movie. But then also one thing that drew me to wanting to do this too was that John Connor wore the Public Enemy shirt all throughout the Terminator 2 movie. So I was like, all right, that's kind of a cool like subliminal way where I can tribute Public Enemy at the same time. Then I wanted to put my own spin on it, and you know, I took one of the famous scenes from the movie, but in it, you know, I have them relating, like, you know, John Connor saying, hey, AI art sucks. Here's another one.
Yeah.
And actually I've made this before, like maybe 2 months before Hulk Hogan died, R.I.P. But this was just another reinterpretation of a famous scene where Booker T, the wrestler, because I used to be into wrestling when I was a kid too, you know. So I wanted to, and I loved Ninja Turtles and stuff, and I was like, all right, man, like I just subliminally, I had like my own subliminal meanings. Like, it's not necessarily about Hulk Hogan directly, but it's more about just egomaniacs, more or less. It's more like, this is my message to egomaniacs, to people who think they're bigger than whatever their medium of art is, and I'm saying, hey, I'm coming for you. You know, I got them representing with the Turtles, and so it's a famous scene from you know, wrestling slip up there. And here's another one. Actually, Bill, I wonder what you think of this, you know, because I remember being a kid, and I think about it like, what is my first hip hop memory? So I was a baby.
Ice Ice Baby. And
I loved Ninja Turtles, and in Ninja Turtles 2, Vanilla Ice had the great scene with the Ninja Turtles where they're all, you know, they're doing hip hop to the fullest. They're doing backspins and, you know, choreographed hip hop karate moves and stuff. And I'm like, all right, man, like that's what. How I would be fronting if I didn't say that didn't influence me. So I had to pay homage in my own kind of funny way. So
before we go to the other ones, just looking here, this is pretty impressive. Is this all of your releases? These 7 different ones.
It's not all my releases.
There's even more.
Yeah, there's more, but
there's the one with 1 AM. Is that on here?
No. Well, she's featured on this album right here.
That's 2024, right? That one.
This one I put out 2023.
Oh, 23 already.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a couple of my albums I put out.
And I think this was the first one of yours that I heard.
Yeah, 2018, Heroes of the Gold Rush.
Yeah.
That's the first album I actually put out as Senor Gigio.
Yeah.
Before that, I just went just by Gigio, just by
my
real name.
Okay.
But I kind of like, in that year, I wanted to make a change and really be more distinct about what I was doing. So I threw the Señor on it, you know.
Okay. So getting back to these here, how many different pieces of art do you have? How many of these prints are there?
A lot. There might be between 30 and 40
I think I have
pieces.
At least 2 of yours on my walls.
Here's another hip hop moment.
I like
another hip hop themed moment, and this was you know, focusing on the ray gun scandal of the Olympics about, you know, the ridiculous woman who ended up, you know, competing as an Olympian B-girl.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just wanted to make a little commentary out of it because I think, I mean, to me, she represented a bigger problem. I mean, it was easier to clown her.
The bigger problem being?
Just a lot of people, I think, participation trophy culture, and the way that's I think affected hip hop overall negatively, even in all aspects, from MCing and the art and everything, where it's like, this wasn't surprising to me to see that this person was allowed to be so ridiculous. But you know, there's ray guns everywhere. So it was my homage to pay. You got to pay your dues. Everybody say they pay their dues, you know. So, and one of homeboy Sandman, right? So
that's one of the ones you gave me.
Yep. So
yeah, and what a great MC he is, right?
One of the best.
One of the best. I agree.
One of the freshest. One of the most consistent and persistent. Yeah. So, you know, and that was cool to. Yeah, I can't remember why. It was because you were doing a full Homeboy Sandman dedication show. Yeah. And, you know, I just thought, like, well, what a cool opportunity to like, you know, if I want to tribute him too, I would like to tribute him through art. And that was fun to kind of draw his character. And then you ended up giving him, like, the original, like, framed piece.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool too, to know that he has that original art piece. And
so Senor Gigio, you are hold on, are these yours too, the non-conformists?
Yeah.
Which is kind of like very straightforward compared to all your other stuff.
Yeah.
So non-conformist, and you have the buttons here. So you're what I would call hella prolific.
Thank you.
You're always creating, whether it's visual art or music or something, and you're always on the go. And you're not a multimillionaire. You don't make a lot of money from your art form. You're a husband and a father. What is the one thing that keeps you going? What gives you the energy? And what tip would you give to people to be as prolific and hardworking and enthusiastic and passionate as you are?
Well, first, thank you so much for the recognition. But I'm super passionate about it, and I'm true to it, and I stick to my gut. You know, I stick to my gut and my core beliefs and my values and the way I like to approach this. And I think that's what keeps my spirit alive, going and doing it, and staying driven to do it. Is like a fire. You keep feeding the fire, and you don't let anything dim it, and you don't sell it short. You know, because I've just refused to diminish what I've worked hard for. You know, what I believe in, and you know, I don't mind it being a little harder to get things done and to do things. You know, so I just feel like as long as you're true to yourself, you know, you can go a long way with it, and you know, and you'd be surprised and amazed about what you are able to discover about yourself and actually about this medium of art. Because I mean, everybody wants to be famous, and everybody wants to be heard and seen, and wants to make money doing it, and I totally get that. Those are relatable things, but I feel like there's so much more to gain from having this as like a spiritual part of your life, and for that being like the core of why I do what I do, that keeps me lit and keeps me going, and it's the reason why I'm still doing it after, you know, close to 2 decades of doing it, and seeing a lot of people come and go, seeing people have their little moment of what they thought was going to be fame, and then you don't hear from them anymore because they got burnt out, because they sold themselves out, you know, and it's just not worth it, you know.
Well, on that note, thank you so much, Senor Gigio, for your latest HipHopSlam interview. I appreciate it.
Right on. Tips for hip hop.